put out a video about the Raffle the other day.
Nice.
It's got like a week left. It's doing pretty well. I think it might get to... It might be close to $1,500, which is pretty cool. It's going to cost me...
Amazing.
Yeah, it's going to cost a lot to send out. I'm going to have to send everything recorded because I can't risk anyone saying they didn't get the raffle prizes. Can't rebuy the raffle prizes. So it's going to cost... Hello, House of Geek. It's going to cost a lot probably to send it because let's say all 6 winners are in America. And if it just sent 6 boxes of models to America tracked,
That could be pricey.
that'd be like 200.
It's the risk you take.
That's the risk you take, isn't it? Doing a worldwide raffle, yeah. Hello, Den of Geek. How are you? Good evening. I'm painting this tonight. You might hear my wife in the background. She is working, so we were just chatting before I went live. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
There's a new microphone, the one that I got at Christmas time. So I don't know if it picks you up better or worse. It's a directional microphone that I've got now.
Oh, okay.
So it might pick you up better, or it might pick you up worse. Ardeen, good evening. Cambo, good evening. How are you guys? It's been a hot minute. Have you had a nice afternoon? Have you had a nice day? Linus, good evening. Eternal Crusader, good evening. Did you guys see the game against Death Guard? Oh my goodness. The new Death Guard stuff is bonkers. So this guy I'm working on is converted Terminator that's going to be he's going to be a leader for my... Well, he's going to be the standard bearer for my company veterans, basically. Hello, Jim. I did get my jump captain finished and sprayed last week, so it's nice. Even after dropping in 4 or 5 times, that model finally got finished. So it's time to get a new one. Oh, I feel like this is the wrong brush for this, but we want a slightly bigger brush. The spray hasn't got into all the nooks and crannies very good. This one. Oh, let me get the chat up so where I can read it a bit more easily. Docs chat. Okay. Hello, Pandaman. There we go. Evening, BT. How you doing? Anyone else played New Death Guard yet? I am not looking for... Like, if that's their points costs, I am not looking forward to playing Death Guard again. The bloat drones are ridiculous now. They're like the 100-point shooty ones. Oh my god, they're horrific. $40k is a bit like Pokemon. You have to have every model, multiple of every model, and then at some indeterminate point you will eventually need that model, right? I'm not entirely sure what colour I'm going to do this angel's robe on this banner. I think I'm going to go with the purple. I've been using purple a little bit more in my Blood Angels as of late. So I'm using this purple Nagaroth Knight. So I think that's what I'm going to go with. Just be something a little bit different from all my other red banners, I guess. Evening, Marius. How you doing? Are you still painting stuff for the GT? Or have you been flying through it? I'm half on the fence about changing my list after playing Death Guard. I guess my list just doesn't deal with Death Guard well at all. They just have so much high toughness stuff, so much resilience, I feel like. The way that I feel like we can deal with that, potentially, is like chaplains. To get like a ton of +1 to wound on the combat. Which I think would help. But I don't think we see too many people doing like crap loads of chaplains and angelic inheritors. You're painting a Dante Death Company Dreadnought now. Well, that's something I've not heard before. What the hell is a Dante Death Company Dreadnought? A golden Death Company Dreadnought? Yeah, the big question with Death Guard is, are they going to release with the points that people think they're going to release with? Or are they going to release and get like a day one nerf like Votan got? Because I think they're going to be rocking in the meta. Like, they are so strong. Like, if that's the points that cost they release with, I am very worried, because that army just destroyed my army so hard. I could barely kill 1 or 2 units, and like every single turn he's just killing 2 or 3 things back. It was crazy. Everything had crazy durability, everything has really good damage. The Defiler is really good now in like, I guess when you factor in all the hit rerolls, the Defiler is just really, really powerful. Like, the reason the Defiler wasn't good before was because it, you know, it had a low number of shots and it didn't hit very often. Well, now it just hits all the time. Very scary. Oh, it's a Dante-themed Dreadnought. I will check out your Twitter, Marius. Are you getting followers? But did you watch the next game? I actually didn't watch Thursday night's game. What was I doing on Thursday night? Oh, I was working on my Dante video on Thursday night, Aradine. Like, my entire time I was painting Dante, I was filming it. It ended up being like 120 individual clips. So I've been working on that video for a few weeks now. I had to get all the clips, I had to stitch them all together, like in a timeline, which I've done, and then I had to like voice over what I was doing and overlay the voiceover, against with the video. So on Thursday night, I finished stitching all the clips together, and then I did like the first 9 minutes of voiceover, which is probably about half of the video. Video will probably end up being like 15 to 18 minutes long. I mean, I'm trying not to make it too long, but it's hard because like there was 120 clips of painting that I did for it. So no, I didn't watch this game on Thursday night on the Crackheads. Did you watch it? I actually don't even know who won on Thursday night, because Andrew didn't mention it on Friday at work, which probably means Colin won. Because usually, if Andrew wins, he mention it very quickly in the morning in the office, which would make sense, right? I always mention when I win and don't mention when I lose. That's how office Warhammer bragging rights go, right? If you win, you tell everybody straight away. If you lose, you keep quiet and hope the other person doesn't come into the office. It sounds like I'm joking, but it's actually kind of factually true. So yeah, Andrew didn't tell me, so I assume he got beat by the Death Guard on Thursday night. I just realised that I didn't update my damn membership widget, so it still says we're trying to get 10 members in April. Well, that's going to be hard to do when April is ended. So let me just quickly update that. May membership goal. I love how the default goal is 100. Like, I'm going to do 100 new members in May. No chance. I could do 10, maybe. Is it going to work? No. Weird. Technology never works when you want it to work. Oh, there we go. Goal created successfully. There we go. 27 days, 10 new members. Okay, we're rocking. I did not realize my black paint was so thin. We'll need more paint than that for sure. You get to the end of the pot with the black paint. Sometimes I feel like when you get to the end of the pot and it's like I don't use that much black paint, I guess. Use it for like shoulder trims and stuff like that. I think when you get to the end of the pot, the consistency can change a little bit. But yeah, I think the GT list, Marriott, the GT list mission is next Saturday, is it? So I'll actually have one more game, maybe Wednesday night, and then I need to submit the list for the GT. Have you got your GT list sorted, Marius? Like, are you 100% on what you're doing? I've heard really good things about Black Legion contrast, but I've never actually bought a pot. I only own like 3 contrast paints, I think, and one of them was bought not even to do Warhammer models. It was like to do like board game models. Who won Adepticon? Like which player? Like not which faction, like which player? Yeah, this black paint is crazy thin. It's gonna be a bit annoying. Redefines like the too thin coat things, where it's just like, well, you just need a crap load of thin coats. I hope you're gonna still call your list Conan What Is Best in Life. I feel like I haven't watched Conan in ages. Did we watch the one with Jason Moana as Conan? He was
Momoa.
Momoa. He was Conan, right? What did I call him? Moana.
Yeah. I think so. Did we?
I don't know. I don't know if we did.
Was that in the time when he was in everything?
That was in the time that he was indeed in everything.
Oh, who knows?
I don't think we. If we did, I can't remember it at all. Like, I can't imagine him saying, like, I feel like I would have remembered him saying that line. Like, I feel like that's such an iconic line that they would have put it in the new movie, right? It's like Terminator, they always fit "I'll be back" in there in some form, or like
super politically incorrect.
Yeah, like, you are terminated. Okay.
Can you read it?
I can't read it from there. Hold on. Just mute. Hello Surf Song, hello Crycheck, how are you guys doing? No, it's okay. Speaking of 80s movies, did you see the Alien War documentary I sent to you? About an old proto-escape room thing they did in the 80s. I didn't see the documentary, Marius. I don't know why, because I do really love aliens. I figured it was something to do with the new Alien movie you sent me, and I must admit I haven't been paying too much attention to... I liked... was it Romulus? Romulus was a good movie. It seemed like it had a weird name, right? Because it's like, it's an alien movie, and like, calling it Romulus is a bit... Like, I don't remember anything that... Like, was that the name of the ship in the movie? The Romulus? But like, isn't Romulan sort of like a Star Trek term? That was what I thought was a bit weird about that. But I mean, I watched the movie. I didn't know you had a new baby, Surf Song. Congratulations. I don't really miss the days of having to wake up children from their naps just for them to be grumpy when you wake them up. There's actually a lot of people in the community, Charlotte, that are new parents, because like...
That's exactly why I didn't wake them up.
No, you just let them nap indefinitely. Yeah. There's a lot of people in the Blood Angels Commander community that are like new parents or just having parents. There was one guy who was in asking like, someone did a super chat where they're like, what advice would you give to a new dad? And like, oh God, put me on the spot, why don't you?
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm right.
Go with the flow.
Go with the flow.
There's the advice.
I said that thing, you know, in Aliens.
Don't document every second of your child's sleep because it will make you insane. Don't compare them to other children.
Because then you'll feel inadequate.
They're all different, and comparison is the thief of joy.
I said, I think I said the bit always reminds me of that Alien movies. When he's like, oh, we're all in strung out shape, man. You know, because it's like, you've not slept, the wife's not slept, the baby's not slept, and it's like 3 in the morning, and I just sort of remember that.
Yeah, I just find like nothing makes you feel worse about how little sleep you've had than documenting every time your child wakes up in the night.
Yeah,
So,
that's
like,
true.
Don't do that.
Don't do it. Yeah, if you let them oversleep, then they'll be up all night. I mean, that is a real thing that happens.
Not really when they're a newborn.
No, depends on how old they are.
Newborns spend most of their time sleeping, in fact.
Yeah.
Like when they're like
I feel like
2 or 3, yeah.
I feel like we get more time since they're older, though, right? Like
an evening, yeah.
Yeah, and we get more of an evening now they're a little bit older.
Yeah, I mean, now that they don't wake up 11 million times in the night, yeah, for sure.
11 billion times.
They get there in their own time. Because he's always been a better sleeper than her.
Yeah.
He was a terrible sleeper.
Predator has a new trailer? Oh my god, I've lost count of how many Predator movies we had now. Because we had Predator, Predator 2, Alien vs. Predator, Alien vs. Predator Requiem. Then we had like Predators with an S. Then we had the other Predator movie 4. So is this movie number 7? I have honestly no idea. Oh, and then there was that one on... There was like a Predators movie on Netflix. It wasn't a Predators movie. It was, but it wasn't. It was like Back in Time or something? I don't know. Predators Badlands. Okay. Jesus, how... Yeah, but... I mean, they just need to actually start putting numbers on them, because it's getting a bit silly. You are done.
Actually,
Well, clock out and enjoy your evening.
hero.
What, for working for 13 extra minutes? You are a hero.
Actually, it's 20.
Oh, it's 20 extra minutes. Go you. What are you going to do? You got something you're watching on Netflix or something? You could catch up on WWE Raw.
I could do that. I could also do something else.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I must admit, I am really enjoying, like, more than I thought I would. I'm really enjoying the fact that Netflix has all the WWE pay-per-views now.
Yeah.
Because I grew up watching WWE pay-per-views, and I must admit, I think since it's come to Netflix, I've watched Elimination Chamber, I've watched the Royal Rumble, I've watched WrestleMania, and like Backlash, I think is like next weekend. I don't watch all the matches. I usually fast forward through like some of the, I don't know what you call them, like the lower cards.
Yeah. Less interesting matches.
Yeah, like the ones that
Ones you don't care about.
Yeah. So who's in Predator's Badlands? Or is it just like a no-name cast? Because that was kind of what the Aliens movie was, Romulus. Romulus just seemed like a really weird name. But I mean, it was a pretty good movie in terms of like special effects. And it felt like this... That you kind of know what the story of an Aliens movie is going in. What's happened?
One was just trying to escape.
One was trying to escape. Okay.
Yeah. Just trying to slide off the desk.
Oh, that sounds cool, actually. I think the Predator movie recently that was set in the past was pretty good. But yeah, I guess I struggle to keep up with all the names on them, right? still want them to just make a damn sequel to Aliens, like the second movie. I think that will always be the best Aliens movie. Which units can I add to Liberator Assault Group to counter Death Guard? Oh, that's a tough question, man. I was even looking at, like, would Armigers be a solution for that this week? Because Death Guard, like, everything is super high toughness, everything is super resilient, everything at the moment seems pretty points effective and does lots of damage. A few people in the Discord were saying, like, don't overreact. Like, they think Death Guard are too strong and they're gonna get nerfed. Like, so don't go too crazy on, like, nerfing your list. You mean Alien 3? No, I want a sequel to Alien 2, not Alien 3. I mean, I know what happened in Alien 3. Technically, it was a sequel, but, like, just forget all that nonsense where they crashed and, like, nuked and Hicks died. Like, you know, they worked so hard to keep them alive in the movie, they just die in the first 2 seconds of... They die off screen in the first 2 seconds of the next movie. Like, no, just get rid of that movie. Just cut after the second Aliens movie and start again. Hello, Daniel. Yeah, like, well, I was thinking, like, if you're gonna be fighting Death Guard and you're gonna be trying to melee them, I think you're gonna want chaplains, because I think if you don't have +1 to wound in any given squad, you're not going to do enough damage, right? So the only way you can get, like, you essentially need your Red Rampage strat on Sangre Guard model. I mean, arguably you might even need Red Rampage on, like, Death Company to effectively deal with Death Guard as well. But I think if that's the case, then maybe, like, Power Fist Terminators with chaplains, Blade Guard with chaplains, just, like... Just without the +1 to wound, your wound rolls are pretty much always going to be 5s, and if that's what your wound rolls is, then you're going to really struggle. How many chaplains is too many? I wouldn't bust out the Lost Brethren regardless of how many chaplains you need, because the Lost Brethren is a terrible detachment. No one's playing it competitively. I definitely wouldn't do that. Stormspeeder Thunderstrikes? Yeah, I mean, Thunderstrike wouldn't actually be the worst option. The problem is the Thunderstrike doesn't have any durability when they target it. So Thunderstrikes for shooting, Chaplains for melee. But then I kind of agree with the thinking that maybe Death Guard are a little bit too cheap right now, and maybe we shouldn't be worrying too much about them. But I mean, how long will they be too cheap for? Is the $1 million question, right? Like, if they're too cheap for just like a week, not a problem. If they're too cheap for like 3 months, could be a big problem. It just felt like when I played them this week, every single Death Guard unit had more resilience than my units, and every single Death Guard unit had more killing power than my units. And I don't know if I felt like I had a whole lot of opportunities to do much. Like, I barely killed anything in the whole so I know that list that I ran this week has good damage output, because the week before I played it against World Eaters, right? And like I think at the end of the game, the World Eaters player had lost every single one of his units. I'd lost like less than 500 point stuff. Hardly lost anything against World Eaters. So it was like, so my list into like a standard army actually has really, really good damage. It's like a good overall balanced list, I would say. But against the Death Guard, it just felt like it was neutered really, really hard. So hard that I was like, the next morning when I was walking to work, I was like pulling the list apart in like, I was going to say like in BCP, but like in the GW app, I had the list up and I was like, I don't think I like this list. I don't think it's good enough. But here's the thing, like a week before, that list absolutely destroyed the World Eaters. Like it wasn't even, like the World Eater player was super demoralized. It was almost, you know, it was just very demoralizing for him, I feel like. I think you need lag. I mean, you're still strength 6, right? So still most of your wound, like, if you're chainswords, you're strength 6, you're wounding on 5s. If you're Sanguinary Guard, you're strength 8, you're wounding on 5s. If you're Death Company, maybe your Power Fists and Eviscerators are wounding on 3s into some of the stuff, but a lot of your other weapons are still wounding on 5s. Infernal Pistol is wounding on 5s. 4 wounds on their Terminators was pretty bonkers as well. I mean, I feel like if most of your army is wounding your opponent on 5s, you have a big problem. And that's pretty much where my list landed against that Death Guard. And I mean, technically it lands a little bit like that against Knights, but I don't think Knights have the same killing power as the Death Guard. Like, I feel like sometimes, like, an Armiger might just bounce off a squad and not actually do anything. Whereas, like, I didn't feel like that for those bloat drones, considering they're literally half the price of the Armiger almost. At strength 6, you should be wounding on 4s. How, dude? Even their spawn are toughness 7. Like, literally, Chaos spawn are T7 now. Terminators are T7. Bloat drones are T9. The tanks are T10. I think the Defiler is T11. So, like, strength 6, you never... I mean, yeah, sure, the one unit on the board that you play Red Rampage on will wound on 4s, but everywhere else, all your other charges will be 5s. Except Death Company, but no one's running Death Company. Alright, against normal Plague Marines. Are people running normal Plague Marines? Hello, the end. I mean, I actually haven't played against the Plague Marines yet, but played against the Terminators, and my god, they're strong. And I've played against all the vehicles, I guess, and my goodness, they're strong. Aradine, did you watch that game? Sorry, you asked me about the game on Thursday night. But I mean, I think it could be as simple as, like, I think it could be as simple as we need chaplains, because you need to have +1 to wound into that Death Guard list. You need to have it on as many squads as possible, because if you're wounding on only 5s, you will not do enough damage, and then they'll hit you back so friggin' hard. Death Shard should be going up in points. I think they probably have to go up in points. 4 wounds in T7 is just too much for what you're paying points-wise for them at the moment. I guess we'll find out though, right? Like, we're all just guessing if they'll go up in points. No one actually knows. Howdy, Frank. By the way, big shout out to any of you guys that bought raffle tickets, by the way, because I think we're on track to do like $1,500. Might just, like, I don't know, if we sell like a few more tickets, we'll do like $1,500 for the children's charity. So if any of you guys in chat bought tickets, I do really appreciate it. Thank you for that. It's pretty cool. It was Death Guard scored 100 points. Wow. Yeah, Death Guard are good, man. Chaplain plus Outriders. I don't know if I take the Outrider with the Chaplain just because it's too. I feel like it's too big a footprint. I think if you want a cheap squad that will do a lot of damage, you probably want 10 jump intercessors than a Chaplain. I think that would be better. And the 10 jump intercessors will do like 6 mortal wounds or something every time they charge, which the mortal wounds be really useful into all those high toughness Death Guard things for sure, right? So I would take a jump Chaplain and like 10 jump intercessors. I mean, I think that they do a very good amount of damage. It's a crap load of chain swords, and all those chain swords would be going on 4s. It's not great AP, but it is a crap load of chain swords. Evening, Miles. How are you? We're going to run out of time, by the way, Miles, for getting a game before this tournament. I was at the Macallan Distillery actually today, Miles, and we were meeting a client for like my day job, and I did the whiskey pairing with the menu. The menu was crazy, by the way. It's like 6 courses, fine dining. It was. I liked all of it except the seaweed course. Yeah, it was like a seaweed mousse.
Ew.
And I ate it because I'm sure it cost like based on the fact it was like 95 for 6 courses, it must have been like 15 quid for this seafood mousse or something. But honestly, like,
did it taste like the ocean?
No. But so, like, you know, in fine dining how the portion is tiny.
Mm-hmm.
So like
was
this,
it like a little froth of foam.
well, yeah,
shit.
See these paint pots, because people on the stream can relate. Imagine 3 of these paint pots like that,
Mm-hmm.
but imagine it's only like 1 centimetre high, and it's like in a little circle. So right in the middle of the dish, there was this little circle, maybe like 1 centimetre. It's a circle, right, like that,
Mm-hmm.
with some vegetables put on top of it. Like,
I need to know what colour it was.
you'll see it on Andrew's Facebook. It was the seaweed mousse. It was like.
Was it fluorescent green?
It was green. It was like, it wasn't a million. Maybe more like this green here.
Boogers.
Yeah. So it was like this little. I don't know what you would call it, and it was in a soup.
Booger soup.
Right? But the soup was cold.
Cold
booger. Cold booger. You're worse than the kids. Cold booger soup. So it was in a soup, and I mean, they tell you, they walk over and they say this next course is blah 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 blah. I mean, you're paying attention, but they're also giving you whiskey every course. So like
to drown out the booger flavor.
I was going to say, hopefully no one from Macallan's watching this, because it'd be like, yeah, I didn't like the booger course. I did not really care for the seaweed course. I mean, the meat was lovely, and there was
it wasn't just seaweed.
Well, that course was pretty much, it was seaweed in a cold soup, but
it must have been taking you on a culinary journey.
Yeah.
Were they?
Well, so I ate it because, like I said, it's probably £15.
Someone else paid for it. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the guys that we were there with, one of the clients though, did not eat the sea.
He said that's boogers.
So one of them ate it. You don't know if they're being polite, but one of the guys he was just like, nah, fuck this, I'm not eating that.
It's either boogers or phlegm, realistically, texturally.
But yeah, no, it wasn't my favourite course. It was paired with a whiskey, and the whiskey was pretty nice.
Well, it would have to be.
But yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just telling you. We had one course that was seaweed mousse, and I never. Yeah, and that was you know that episode of Red Dwarf when he was like, the soup was served cold, and I was
gazpacho soup is supposed to be cold,
gazpacho soup,
as is seaweed soup apparently.
So seaweed soup has to be served cold. I don't know, but I didn't really care. I must admit, I did not.
Cold like the North Viet King.
The cold seaweed mousse and the cold seaweed soup, or whatever soup that the seaweed was in,
whatever it was,
I'll be quite happy if I never have to eat that again in my life. And I can't imagine, like, if it's fine dining, somebody somewhere has like made this dish and been like, Oh yeah, you know, like because the meat was the polar opposite. Like you get a tiny little bit, like you get 2 bits of meat. I actually thought it was figs when it came to the table.
Beef.
Yeah, it was like beef. But I honestly thought it was 2 pieces of fig because you know the size of a fig.
Mm-hmm.
That was the size of the beef.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought we were getting like a fig course. No, that was the beef course.
Fine dining.
Yeah, because it wasn't until like they were like on your beef course, and I was like looking at it thinking like I really thought that was 2 figs. So that's how big the beef was, right? Like if you would slice a fig in half,
Yeah.
you know, like it's like maybe a tiny bit bigger than that, right?
Yeah. Maybe like a very expensive fillet of beef.
Yeah.
Probably.
The beef was lovely, but I'm glad that I didn't say like, oh look, those figs look nice or something. Like, no, that's your beef course.
Did you have like loads of cutlery as well?
There was a surprising small amount of cutlery, but they also didn't clear off the whiskey glasses, which was quite strange. There was all these whiskey glasses on the table.
Poor service.
But I think they were leaving them on purpose, so you could see all the different whiskies you'd gone through.
Maybe. That just seemed like making the table messy.
$15 isn't something that I would pay to eat something I didn't want.
Oh, here it is.
Oh,
Is
Andrew.
this it?
Oh, look, you've got a picture of it.
Is that it there?
Yeah, this is from Andrew's Facebook. Let me see it. Look. I was going to say, there's your... Yeah, that's your seaweed. That little green thing in the middle, and this is the cold soup it came in. I mean, I actually looked on the
It looks
website.
more appetizing than what you described.
It didn't taste appetizing.
It looks really good.
Do any of the courses look good on this Facebook page post? I mean, the other courses were...
Plate.
That was the strangest course. Is there a picture of the meat that I thought was figs?
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
Is it?
Okay. Yeah.
It was figs.
I mean, it came without the sauce on it originally. And like, if you look at the size of the plate and like a spoon at the side of the, for context, right? Like, this knife on the side is you know, a knife for context.
A little tree.
Or a knife. So like this.
You
this
need a
piece
banana for scale.
I was going to say this piece of meat is about what, like a 1/6 of, maybe I'm being harsh, a 1/5 of the knife. So if a knife is as long as the paintbrush, which is probably about the size of a knife, then the meat is like this size. So like, I really thought, like before they put the sauce on it, I really thought it was a fig. I mean, if you served me a piece of meat that size for my dinner, I'd be like, love, where's the rest of my dinner? Like, what have we done with it?
What's this one? What's that?
Oh, right. So this one on the left was like, this was some sort of coronation chicken thing. It was like
Really?
literally one bite.
Ball.
And then that was a haggis bonbon.
Oh. I'd have wanted more than one of those.
I tried to use that little spoon because I didn't know.
What?
The haggis, that's a weird thing to, like, it's not even on a plate, it's on like a rock. And I was like, I don't know if I'm being greedy, trying to put the whole haggis bonbon in my mouth. So I tried to use the spoon to like break it in half. Because it's on a rock, the haggis bonbon just started moving around. So I was like, oh, forget to eat this whole haggis bonbon in one, and then I don't know. Where's the beef? Yeah, exactly.
Good thing I wasn't there, I would have just picked that with my fingers.
That's what I ended up doing. Yeah, I think I picked up with fingers. Plus, the first 2 courses we just had 2 spoons. Like, we didn't have any knives or forks for the first 2 courses. So I was like, look, I was just sat at a table with 2 spoons, and like,
That's pudding, is it?
yeah.
What is that?
The pudding was
Cloud.
it was like raspberry underneath and then
raspberry
foam on
coulis,
top.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then it literally had candy floss on top. But everything on the plate was built with milk or something, because they made a big deal about talking about the milk.
Oh, like,
and I was like,
they come from special cows.
Probably. I mean, to me it was just cream and candy floss.
What Brett said.
What did Brett say? It was actually really nice. You know, I would take you there. I would eat there again for sure.
Gandhi ate more than.
Did you guys hear that? Gandhi ate more than that. I didn't actually feel hungry after, because you eat like courses over multiple hours. because it's like an experience.
Fair.
But the whiskey pairing was very good. I will say that. Like they had, like it's the Macallan Distillery.
That's why I don't know if I would want to go there, because I don't think I would thank you for the whiskey.
But there's a wine pairing as well.
Well, then I'll probably.
So I would recommend it if you're going to do the whiskey pairing. The whiskey pairing was like it did complement, like it was on, like the whiskey was on point. I really enjoyed the whiskey. I get fine dining is like smaller portions. I get that.
For sure.
That's why that's why when we go out somewhere for like dinner, we usually just go somewhere that does like big burgers or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're giving you just enough food to not get just enough food to keep you drunk, so you buy more whiskey, right?
Yeah.
No, I enjoyed it. You kit bashed this Terminator. Yes, this is a kit bash Terminator. He was a librarian. You're not liking the back. Okay, I mean, it's just the regular librarian, man. The only thing that I think is different is I cut off his power axe. And I think I didn't give him the librarian head, he's just got a regular head, probably. Yeah, I must admit, I haven't been to so many fine dining places in my life. Maybe that's like number 3 or 4. His base will be too big? Why will his base be too big? I'm gonna use him as a company. He's part of my squad of company heroes, and company heroes are on 40mm bases. All right, hold on. Let's go into a rules question because we can do those. Had a rule question come up today. If you make the Sangre Guard model a character in Assault Intercessors with the strap, does he become -1 to hit and wound if he ends up leading himself, as in a character and bodyguard? Oh, that's an interesting question, actually. That hasn't come up in my games, actually, but it'd probably be good to know. So what does the Sangre Guard ability actually say? While a character model is leading this unit, each time a melee attack targets this unit, subtract 1 from the wound roll. An Inheritors says, in your command phase, choose 1 infantry unit from your army, select 1 non-character model in the unit. Until the start of your next command phase, that model has the character keyword. While in effect, your model unit is therefore a character unit, meaning it can interact with Legacy of the Angels rules in addition to other rules that interact with character units. So it says you're a character, but it doesn't say you're leading the unit, right? Like, you're just a character for rules that need character to interact. So I would say you do not get the leader ability because you're not necessarily leading the unit, I feel like. I mean, I'm happy to be corrected on that because it's more beneficial for Blood Angels if you are leading, right? But I don't specifically says, it just says you're a character, you just have the character keyword. It doesn't ever say you are leading, right? But then I don't actually know where it says in the base rules. You'd have to go and find the base rules and says what it. Would you be? I actually don't know. I feel like you aren't. But if anyone's got a correction on that, I'd be happy to hear it. But I feel like the rule. I feel like I would play it as you aren't actually leading. You still looking, love?
Nope, I'm going downstairs anyway.
You're just chilling.
I am doom scrolling.
Doom scrolling. What have you found today on the doom scroll?
Well, I was like, oh, I've got 82 followers on Sprinkle Source page, so
Oh,
I'm
do
going
you?
to look at that.
Good for you.
I don't know how that happened, because I've been very lazy about posting anything. I had one lady messaging me to ask, could I make something? I said, yeah, probably. Told her how much it would be, and then she never messaged
And then
me
she
again.
ghosted you.
Yeah, she obviously thought, Jesus, that's too expensive.
It can be expensive to make custom-based things, though.
Well,
right?
it is. I mean,
It is expensive.
at the price that I told her, I actually wouldn't have made anything, because by the time I bought the fabric that she wanted
Mm-hmm.
and had it posted to me, that was the amount that she was paying. You know?
Yeah.
So, like, I wouldn't have had anything for, like, thread, needles, electricity, my time. Would have just
And she
paid
still
for the
didn't, and she
fabric.
still ghosted you.
Yeah, but I mean, people don't know how much stuff costs, because, like, you can rock up into Primark and buy
Yeah,
stuff really cheap in there, you know?
I think it's very competitive to buy, considering, like, you know, the stuff that we get in Primark for the kids. It's so cheap.
It is cheap.
Alright, I'll come and see you in a bit. See you later. Evening, Boris. Campbell thinks it's being led, but wouldn't... I don't think leader per se is a keyword. Yeah, like leader isn't a keyword, but I feel like because it doesn't specifically say that you were leading the unit, I feel like you wouldn't be able to use that. How did you play it, Chase? Was that how you interpreted it, or did you interpret it different? I didn't really know what I could do to get the banner onto this guy, though, so it might not be the best conversion I've ever done, but at least it works. In the last game, I did have a 1 CP to yeet the Sanguinar back into reserve. I did notice that afterwards, Jack. I haven't done that strat too often. The other thing I did notice as well is I could have 1 CP made the Scout a character. And if the Scout was a character, when he declared to kill the Scout with his indirect fire, could he use the stratagem that said he couldn't shoot the Scout? So the Scout would have stayed alive, burned the objective, and won me the game. Right? Because I only lost the game by 1 point, and he burned the objective that the Scout was on. So if the Scout had stayed alive and burned the objective, I would have got 5 more points. He would have lost 5 points. So I'd have won the game straight away. I wouldn't have even had to burn anything on the other side of the map like I did at the end. So I'll need to remember that, like if I'm playing Death Guard and they're just indirect bombing like a unit that's going to do an action, just make that unit a character so I can, I mean, yeah, it costs an extra CP to do, but it just means that you could then not indirect bomb them. I'd say as soon as a character attaches to a unit, it's being led, but it's not attaching the character to a unit. It specifically says it's changing a unit in that squad. No, it's giving a unit in that squad the character keyword. It's not saying anything about attaching it. It's not saying anything about leading it. It's just saying they have the character keyword for some of these other stratagems that need the character keyword. Like that's how it's worded to me, so that's sort of how I would play it, I guess. Miles says you attach leaders at the start of the game and declare battle formations. I think anything different to that would need to be explicit. Yeah, I think I agree with Miles. Like, you have the character keywords, so you can use character-based strats on them. You do not get -1 to hit in wound because you're not led. Well, you still get -1 to hit, but you don't get -1 to wound because you are not led by a character. I think that would be the correct way of ruling that, unless it's overwritten by GW somewhere. Oh, right, you don't like the banner when it's attached to the back. That makes sense. I just needed someone to put on a 40mm base to lead some company heroes. That's where this banner idea came from. I have games tomorrow, Michael says, against Orcs and Nids. Well, Orcs is pretty easy, right? Like, within reason, right? They are going to wah you in... An Orc player wants to declare his wah in turn 1 or 2, ideally. Turn 3 is like the latest they want to do that. So, like, depending on his detachment, the wah will do different things, but most of the time it's going to do something like advance and charge. So I think, like, against Orcs, you just need to sort of expect that they want to advance and charge you very early in the game. And if you can make them have to hold that off, you can make it difficult for them to do that. That helps loads. Against Nids, I mean, there's quite a few different combinations of Nids at the moment. I've left some horrible bits of sprue attached to this. I'm gonna chip them off. Yeah, like, Nids are like, you could be playing against like lots of big monsters, you could be playing against like Termagant span, you could be playing against indirect span. I feel like I need more information to give you advice on Nids. But I feel like Orcs are usually a pretty winnable match for Blood Angels. Nids is going to be a bit tougher. Do you ever do that when you clipped a piece off the sprue and you glued the whole model together and then you see the bit that's been clipped off and it's just tragically bad? That's where I'm at with, like, oh my god, how did I not notice that when I was clipping that off the sprue? That is so bad. I think probably what would have happened would have been I clipped it off quickly, and then when I was doing the kit bash I wasn't paying enough attention. Has anyone made a big banner stuck into the ground to represent the unit's banner? It would have to follow the singular model though, similar to a Watcher in the Dark. I haven't seen anyone do that actually. How do you rate yourself as a painter? I see you paint your own stuff but also get commissioned stuff done for you, which is an interesting approach. That's just because I don't have time, man. I didn't do any commissions before I had kids in the YouTube channel. So like my evenings are split kinda between spending time with my kids and spending time making YouTube content. I've probably got fully painted, I think probably somewhere in the region of like before they did all the legend stuff, I think I'd just broken like 10,000 points of painted Blood Angels. I only have like 1,000 points of that commissioned, and it's mainly I feel like for me it's mainly a time thing. My painting is like battle ready at best though. That's how I rate myself, a battle ready painter. But if I didn't make YouTube content and I could just paint all night every night, I feel like I wouldn't need to do commissions. But then, you know, the flip side of that is there would be no YouTube content, so... But I don't think there's anything wrong with being a battle-ready painter. Like, you know, there's lots of parts of this hobby you can focus on, right? My focus is usually around tournament play, getting better and winning games at tournaments. I like my models to look decent, but I know I'm never going to really win best painter or something. Like, usually when I go to tournaments, I don't even enter best painter. Usually because my models aren't always fully painted. Like, I'll take this guy to like, this guy's already been to a tournament. He's already been to a couple of tournaments, probably, in his really poor half-painted state. So I get them battle ready as soon as I can, so I can play with them as soon as I can, and then over time I'll finish them up, right? Hey, everyone's got to start somewhere. Sorry. Nids will be likely Gene Stealers, Carnifexes, and Zonothropes. And do you have any shooting, I guess? Because Gene Stealers are going to be a nightmare to deal with in melee. And it's almost like you can't leave the other units, the Zonothropes and the Carnifexes, to just do their thing. You know, I actually kind of like Mephiston sometimes when I'm fighting Nids. I think he's a good counter for them, but yeah, I mean, that's a tough army to play against. I mean, you kind of have to do the standard Blood Angels thing of hide your units, make the important charges when you can, and if you've got fire support, pick off priority targets, right? Like, I don't think there's any I don't think there's any like massive strat that's going to be like, this is how you're going to beat those Nids, right? Orcs is more like, if you can counter the Orcs' WA, you can almost win the games. Like, their WA is so important to them. I usually quite like playing against Orcs because I usually know how to counter their WA very easily, because, you know, in a way, an Orc WA is a little bit like Liberator Assault Group. Like, it's kind of one-dimensional. You know what's coming. Marius, non-Blood Angels question, what phone stand are you using? I'm thinking about making videos again. It's actually a microphone stand, Marius, but I mean, it's just from Amazon. It's like $20. If you send me a DM, I can easily send you what stand I'm using. It's not a problem. Don't know if anyone's made a banner like this scene from Iwo. That would be cool if somebody had, but no, I don't know if I'm sure someone's probably made that Space Marine banner at some point, because it probably would be cool, like you say. But I just recently finished painting Dante, and I've been working to get that video together to put it on the channel. And my Dante is battle ready, but I'm pretty proud of how he came out. He's probably one of the best painted models I've ever done. He's probably one of the models that I felt looked a lot like he did on the front of the box art, or like, you know, the box the new Dante came in, whatever we're calling that, like, because it's not like a blister. I guess it's just like a box for a single character. I felt like looking him next to the box art, I felt like I did him justice. So it's cool that I filmed that whole thing, and it'll be out on the channel. I need like one more. I think I worked on that video for like 2 hours on Thursday night, so like I need 2 more hours to finish the voiceover, finish the edit. So hopefully I'll get those hours in the next couple of weeks. So the Dante video isn't far away from being on the channel. I'm doing it in addition to like my normal, like the bread and butter of my channel is the Friday Tactics video. So like I'm doing this Dante video in like other spare minutes that I have. And I guess that's why I commission units, right? Or commission models. Because usually if I have spare time, I don't end up painting in my spare time. I end up making more content for YouTube in my spare time. At some point, I keep thinking about it and keep saying to myself I should do it, like where I'll just do like a week where like because I'm very good at like motivating myself to do things. So I feel like I'll do a week where like every single night I'll just do a live stream for a whole week where like I just paint for like 4 or 5 hours, like just spend the entire night painting and just bash through a load of models. But if I do that, then there'll be no other content that week, right? And I don't know what would perform better. Maybe that's great, but then at the same time, maybe it'll be a bit boring if it's just me painting for 20 hours in a week. Like, I can only, I feel like I can only speak or whatnot for so long. Probably lose my voice actually if I was live that much every week. Dante, from my Dante is just like standard GW paints, nothing fancy. Just try to copy the box art. It's not non-metallic metals or anything fancy like that. It's just battle ready. It's just like, I guess I wanted to showcase that you can make Dante look pretty good battle ready. Because there's loads of people doing amazing painting tutorials that I can't keep up with.
Alex Jensen donated 200 Danish kroner via Super Chat. Make sure having enough paints for all those lovely models. Regards from Denmark, Alex.
Alex, thank you so much. I have literally no idea how much 200 Danish krona is, but I do very much appreciate that. Thank you very much for doing a super chat. It's very kind of you. And you're not even a channel member. You should have, next time you should become a channel member, because that costs like $5 a month, and then you get free super chat every month for being a channel member. But regardless, super appreciate it. Thank you. I think an extra live stream on like a Tuesday or Wednesday would be good. Yeah, here's the problem, Marius. Monday night and Tuesday night, I'm usually working on the tactics video. Wednesday night, we do a battle report. Thursday night, I film a Grops podcast episode. And then Friday night is like the one night of the week that I don't do anything. Because Saturday night, like now, I'm doing live streams, and on Sunday night, I do the army show. So like, when people say like, oh John, you don't get very much painted during the week, I was like, well, I'm doing Warhammer shit 6 nights a week. It's just, I'm not painting 6 nights a week, right? Because my put the kids to bed on a any night. I put the kids to bed at like 7:30. Monday night for the tactics video is come up with an idea, which honestly sometimes takes a while, because like I feel like I've made a lot of tactics videos, so like sometimes it can be hard on a Monday to come up with an idea. So let's say it takes an hour to come up with an idea, and then I like to try and finish all my slides on a Monday night, because it takes like a couple hours to make the slides. So let's say it takes me an hour to decide on a video. I usually like to make the thumbnail first. So let's say 8 o'clock on Monday night, figure out a video idea, make a thumbnail, use the thumbnail, bring it over to the slides, and then I'll spend like 2 hours, give or take, making the slides. And the thing is, that usually is going to take till like, I try and stop working at 11 o'clock, so like I get an hour of downtime before bed. But like this Monday that's just passed, the slides lasted until midnight, right? Like sometimes the video gets away from me, sometimes it takes me a while to come up with an idea. Like sometimes I might even start a video and be like, oh fuck, this video is too close to one that I made like 2 months ago, so no one's gonna watch it, so we need to start again. And the thing is, even if I could do that quicker, I wouldn't be ready to film on Monday night, because then I'm tired, right? And like, if there's one thing that I've noticed on YouTube, if people like, if you don't care about if you don't care about the video you're making, it will super come through in the video. So if I let's say I could knock out my slides and finish at 11 p.m. on Monday night, I can't film at 11 p.m. on Monday night because I'll be tired, and and it'll come across in the video that I just look like, oh, hi guys. You know, like, I just won't have any energy, I'll be tired. So what I like to do is try and have everything finished on a Monday night, so as soon as the kids go to bed on the Tuesday night at like 8 o'clock, I can have a coffee so I'm nice and awake, and then film. So I film on Tuesday night. Hopefully I'm ready to start. Sometimes I'm not, which is annoying. Like this week on Tuesday, because I was up so late on Monday night, I still had a couple of slides to finish. So maybe I start filming on Tuesday night somewhere between 8 and 8:30. My videos are usually like half an hour long. Sometimes there's multiple takes. So the filming takes like an hour. So that finishes at like 9:30 Tuesday night. Then I need to put it all into the editor. Then I need to render it out, and the rendering takes like an hour. So then it's usually finishing at like 11 o'clock. So like, I can't stream on Monday and Tuesdays because literally my whole evenings are making the video for Friday, right? I have thought about that. Like, my content, I have problems with my content, right? Like, my content doesn't last very long because Warhammer changed the rules every 6 months, every year, whatever. So videos become dead videos, right? Like, no one's watched. Like, I must have made like, I make a video a week. 9th edition was out for like 3 years, so I must have made 150 9th edition videos. Nobody watches any of those videos now, right? All that is dead content. I mean, maybe there's someone that's like, I fucking hate 10th edition and is still watching 9th edition, right? Good on them. I guess they're the 1 or 2 people that are watching those videos. Sometimes new players find those old videos because YouTube recommends them, and then they're like, this isn't the right rules. And I was like, yeah, I made that video 4 years ago. Of course it's not the right rules. But yeah, so that's a problem. Valrak manages all his content is short shelf life. Yeah, well, that's the thing, Marius. Like, I could throw out video, like I could make rumor videos, and I could pump, like, it'd probably pump out a rumor video in like 20 minutes. Oh, there's a new rumor about whatever, and it'd probably get more views, right? Because like people really care about the new stuff. But I don't know. I'm one of these. I quite like what I'm doing, though, I guess, right? Like, I quite like making videos that make me, as well as some of you guys, better at playing Warhammer. Like, I quite like doing that. I feel like I get a lot of positive comments around that. I feel like that's better content to make, even though it doesn't generate the views or the money or whatever. Your rumors would need to have some kind of accuracy. Dude, he said that there was Blood Angels Terminators coming in 10th edition, man. Like in the launch box. I mean, maybe he's been more accurate about some of the other stuff, but I mean, everybody sees the leaks. They're shared super early, right? Like, I don't know. I mean, I get my content has problems, right? Like, my pipeline isn't great, content becomes redundant, but I'm also quite happy doing what I'm doing, right? Like, I'm not meaning to knock anyone else. Like, I've made rumor videos before. I have 100% done that. Like, there's been a post on Reddit with like a rumor, and I'm like, oh yeah, it'll get a lot of views. I know that people really want to know what's coming for the Blood Angels. I've made those videos. I'm not saying I won't even make them in the future, right? I'm just explaining why I might get some of my models commissioned and why I don't have enough time to paint, I guess. That's where I'm at. The tactics videos take up too much time, but I love doing them. Sue me, I guess. Right? And do you know what? The channel didn't even start with tactics videos. Like, I don't... You know, that's the weird thing with YouTube, right? Like, you start with something... Like, I started with kit bash videos. And then I must have made, like, a video talking about tactics, and everyone was like, oh, we fucking love this. And I'm like, oh shit, I should make some more of those, right? I think we're getting a new Space Hulk at Christmas. I'm basing this on nothing. Right, so I just need to ask ChatGPT to generate me a video about Space Hulk rumors. Tell it to trawl the entire internet, tell it to dig everything up and find me Space Hulk rumors. No, I'm just messing, man. Rumor alert, the 11th edition box will have Space Marines. That would be a good April Fool's video to make, wouldn't it? I don't think have I made an April Fool's video before? I might have. I don't know if I have. That would be more my jam, I think. Diatome says, your videos are actual useful tools which have rich quality. Look at that. How nice is that? That's why I make them. Do one rumour video on April the 1st. Do you know what we should do? Is we should do like a poll in the Discord every year. Like, in the run-up to April 1st. And then I'll just, do you know what, I'll feed all the room, like get everybody to make their suggestions. I'll feed it all to like ChatGPT, because ChatGPT is insanely powerful now. And I'll ask it to like predict the probability of each of the rumours or something. And then that's the video we'll make. How are you anyway, Phil? Antonio says he 100% called the Blood Angels. 100% right about the launch box. At the end of the day, though, he called 100% of the Blood Angels, which prepared me for disappointment. So he's earned my respect. Don't get me... I mean, Valrak's killing it on the... Like, if you want to know the Warhammer rumours, you follow Valrak, right? I mean, that's why... Like, I don't actually know if he's at 250,000 subs. But I think he'd hit like 200,000 maybe like 6 months ago. So I'd be surprised if he's not at 250,000. He's the Matt, you know. He's the big cheese doing... He obviously has the contacts and stuff. I guess my problem is more like I need content that will last multiple editions. So I could still get views multiple editions away. I don't know how to do that. I guess that's why painting channels do pretty well, right? Because like if you paint a model and you do it awesome, it lasts forever. Most of my content doesn't last forever. So I think that's just a problem I'm going to have. I just have to deal with it. It's not really a problem though, right? Like, if I don't... Like, it's not like I think I was saying this in the other live stream, it's not like I dislike making tactics videos or anything like that. I'd probably be lost. Like, it's been my life for like 5 years. I occasionally have a night where like I have no kids and I have no wife. Like, you know, everyone's busy or everyone's out, and like I don't know what to do with myself anymore. Like, I think I used to play video games a lot, and now I'm like, I don't really do that anymore. So when I'm on my own, I'm like kind of lost with what to do. Nobody predicted drop pods. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone was really shouting out that they needed a new drop pod. I must admit, I have not put a drop pod on the board for like 10 years at this point. Like, I cannot remember the last time I used, like, I just haven't seen a need to use them, I guess. What to do on a Wednesday night alone? Drink a pint and get in a fight? Well, usually Wednesday night I try to do the live battle report if I can, right? Oh, Valrak said there's a new drop pod. Look at this, we've got the #1 Valrak fan. I get it. Dude, I like watching Valrak, I'm not gonna lie. He's always entertaining. He's always, like, I wouldn't say he always, but anytime I'm in a live stream, he usually gives me a shout out. He's very kind like that. I mean, I usually try and give him some sass in the comments, but yeah. I don't know where my time has gone recently. I just haven't, maybe it's like summer. Spend less time on the computer in the summer. I haven't been watching as much content. Or maybe it's just the kids eating up my time or something, I don't know. How do you decide what units to put into competitive list? I'm only playing casually for now, so it's just most units for the price for me. Well, dude, I assume you're running Liberator Assault Group, because that is sort of like the default standard Blood Angels detachment. That's the word I'm looking for. I have slides. I'll show you them very, very quickly. I have this presentation right here. Liberator Assault Group. It's just a Google Doc. You can download it as a PDF. That's not the right screen to go back to. I'll put a link in chat, right? So if you are new and you need to build a Liberator Assault Group, I mean, it's just 12 slides. Each, you know, it's like eight bullet points of like, these are the things you need to build a competitive Liberator Assault Group list. I mean, there's a video attached to it. You could go watch the video, but if you don't want to watch the video, you just want the slides are there too. I think I'm gonna make that video earlier in 11th edition, right? Oh, you were thinking about using Angelic Inheritors. God damn it, I haven't made that. Yeah, I think for the next edition, I need to make those videos earlier, because I think those videos have like potential to last longer, or what I was trying to say, like content that will be relevant for a longer time. Antonio says, I like being able to count on you for tactics. It improves my game, and I can't find consistent Blood Angels tactics anywhere else. For that, I thank you. You're most welcome, Antonius. Do you know what's funny is, in the first like year or more maybe of doing this channel, I felt the same way, right? There's no one doing tactic stuff. Occasionally, like a bigger channel like Vanguard Tactics might do like a Blood Angels masterclass as like a singular video or something. But then after like a couple of years, what I found was very funny is like, I might even watch my own video like a year later. I'm like, I'm thinking about putting Terminators on my list. I wonder if I made a video about Terminators. What did I say? What did I do? What could I kill with Terminators? Has there been... is there a place to see what lists will be reviewed on the list show? Not really. Like, to know beforehand? No, not really. Usually what it happens is on a Sunday night, I look at all the lists that were submitted in the last week. I go back a bit further, right? Because like sometimes people have submitted a list a week or two ago and still haven't had a review. And I create a list. I create the lists that we're going to look at in the show on the Sunday night. So yeah, before then, no, not really. I don't really post that anywhere. It's just what I do is when I get your list and I add it to like the notepad document that I go over on the show, I will reply to the comment on the YouTube stream, or if you're a Patreon or anything like that, I'll reply to you on Patreon telling you you're on the show tonight. So I mean, if you've got your reply switched on, you will know that you're on the show because I'll literally reply to you saying on tonight's show. Like I do that for every list that gets put on the show. Because once I reply to them, they get removed from like my unread comments on YouTube. So that's how I manage it, right? Like essentially it's an unread comment. When I reply to it, it marks it as read, or it marks it as like I've dealt with it, and then you know, you're on the show and I know not to do you again in a future week, if that makes sense. I've made a list in lag with 2 Land Raiders.
What do you think? I found Land Raiders kind of double-edged swords, right? Sometimes you're going to play a game of 40k where your opponent just cannot deal with Land Raiders, and you'll win the game really, really comfortably because they just won't be able to deal with the fact that you have a toughness 12, 16 wound vehicle that has a 2-up save and can armor of contempt and can also smokescreen, right? You know, like Land Raiders in the early game, if your opponent's shooting them with las cannons, they can be damn near impervious. But you can also come up against like big knights and they just eat Land Raiders for breakfast, and then you're spending 250 points on a unit that gets killed super, super fast. So Land Raiders are a tough one. I was playing 2 of them, and then I came up against a list that had like a Castellan Knight, and I was like, oh my god, these are a liability against a Castellan Knight. Whereas like maybe in the weeks before when I'd been playing 2 of them against like Death Guard, I felt like they were really, really good. So I feel like with Land Raiders, you'll have great matchups, but you also have really bad matchups. So, you know, if you're aware of that, they're fine to use, I guess. How many good matchups versus bad matchups? I mean, that's hard to say, I guess. Have you been able to get any lists to work in Angelic Hosts? I haven't even tried Angelic Hosts, man. I've been mainly focused on... I was focused on Liberator Assault Group, and this year I think, or at least the last 3 months, I've been more focused on Angelic Inheritors. I don't really think I rate Angelic Host in any way, shape or form. Played a 2,000 point game against Tau, thought I lost it by the 2nd round, but brought it back with a draw. They get so many Hunter-Killer style one-shot missiles. Yeah, I mean, the thing about fighting Tau is you need to use cover in as absolute much as possible, right? And you could argue that about fighting a lot of different lists. It's not like Blood Angels have great durability on any of our units, really, right? Like, we aren't a faction that is known for durability. That's for sure. I keep trying 2 units of 6 Plasma Inceptors for Uppy Downy and Angelic Host, but I can't keep them alive long enough. I mean, I found this... I don't play Plasma Inceptors because I feel like I have the same problem. I would even go so far as to say that for when I shoot my Plasma Inceptors, I always seem to feel like they underperform. Like, I don't know if I feel like they do as much damage. Like, they look like they should do a lot of damage, I don't know if I feel like they do as much damage as I would expect them to do. So yeah, I sort of think that Blood Angels are a melee faction, and having a shooting detachment is a bit weird in a sense. If it was a super strong shooting detachment, maybe, but I don't know if I feel like Angelic Host is a super strong... The thing about Plasma Inceptors as well is like they got crap range, right? Like it's 18 inches range. So, if you put them somewhere, very often your opponent's going to be able to get to them and fight them in combat. And I mean, they just die in combat. They don't even have an invulnerable save, right? Diatome, I think you sent a picture of a green square. What is that, man? Thank you so much for the $1. I do appreciate it. Inceptors are more like for dealing with elite infantry. Yeah, I mean, they are. Inceptors are for dealing with elite infantry, but the trick with Inceptors is, do you shoot them on high power? Because then you're statistically going to lose one of them. And they're very expensive to lose, right? Angelic Inheritors actually has melee benefits without... or shooting benefits without losing melee. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Angelic Inheritors is better, and Angelic Inheritors like you could run 6 Plasma Inceptors and Inheritors, and you could pick. It costs you a CP, sure, but you could pick them up every turn if that's what you want to do. I feel like that would be a better option, though, just because Angelic Host, I feel like, really has neutered melee damage. Like, I just don't think Angelic Host does enough damage in melee to justify picking it as a detachment. Like, it just doesn't have good melee damage. And most of the stuff that you're trying to do with Blood Angels revolves around killing stuff in melee. And I really don't think Angelic Host can get you those positive trades in melee or whatnot. It's a diatom. What the hell is a diatom? I feel like I'm uneducated. It's a type of algae found in oceans. Okay. And you love ocean algae? Are you upset that I ate seaweed? Are you upset? Is that what it is? Are you upset that I had seaweed for lunch? Seaweed mousse. It looked very appetizing, didn't it? So yeah, today, or maybe not today, let's say yesterday, I went to 20.3k subscribers. I think it was yesterday, or maybe it was Friday. Yeah, yesterday is Friday. Sorry, I was drinking this afternoon, so got to give me a little bit of benefit of doubt. But yeah, I hit 20.3k yesterday. So it's up 3, like I got 20k subscribers maybe like a month ago now. Maybe not even a month ago, maybe slightly less. So I got another 300 since then, so I guess keep making tactics videos. Keep doing what I'm doing on YouTube, I guess. My very average battle ready painting. I want to charge out drop pods. Yeah, they might let you charge out drop pods, but it'll probably be 9 inches, and 9-inch charges suck in terms of reliability. 8-inch charges kind of suck in terms of reliability. So 9-inch is just generally very bad. Like, when I'm going to a tournament, like, I think a 9-inch charge is like a Hail Mary in NFL, right? Like, if you're trying to win a game of Warhammer 40,000 and you need to be doing a 9-inch charge, to me that's a Hail Mary. That's like I have fucked up and I need this charge desperately to go off, and I've got no better play than to try and make a 9-inch charge. Whenever possible, I try like never to make charges over like 6 inches. Because you're just setting yourself up for failure. I had an 8-inch charge this week against the Death Guard with a reroll. Failed the reroll, lost the game. 8-inch charge is statistically 66%, so... What's the best Strike Now for Glory unit? Strike Now for Glory is which one again? Is that the lethals? Or Strike Now for Glory, the sustained... Oh, well, Vindicator tanks are good for Strike Now for Glory. Pretty much any tank. Anything that's got a good number of shots that's shooting your oath-the-moment target. Seaweed mousse must be the least Scottish food imaginable. I mean, there is a lot of seaweed in Scotland. Or at least just off the shore, right? Oh, you're saying moose. Moose. I mean like, that's moose with a U? Not double O moose. I think I'm going to do about another 10 minutes, and then I'm going to need to go and spend a little bit of time with the wife, just because I've been out all day and she'll be a little bit upset if I don't get down there and spend some time with her. I'll be live tomorrow night as normal. Tactics? No, it's not Tactics on Sunday. It is Armulus show on Sunday. But I'll be live as normal about 8 PM tomorrow night, you know. For about 90 minutes, we'll go over some Blood Angels lists. If you've got a list to submit, you know, drop it in the comments on the YouTube channel. That's usually how I get them. If you're a channel member or Patreon or anything like that, you can DM me it. At least this guy's getting a few colours on him now. Slowly but surely. Quite a lot of detail on these Terminators as well. Stop acting like you do Warhammer 6 nights a week, your wife is fine. Do you know what? My wife is very good about how much time I spend doing Warhammer shit, I feel like. Can you believe my 1-year-old is wide awake? Yeah, because when they're that young, they don't know what day, they don't know what nighttime is, dude. They're just awake when they're awake, right? No, you like the gold helmet, dude. I appreciate that. I never really know what I'm doing with Terminator helmets. I mean, I just didn't want him to have the Librarian helmet. Because he, you know, well, he isn't a Librarian, so that's probably why. But I guess because I was doing a conversion from the Librarian base, I was like, I just need to do something different to try and distance him a little bit from the Librarian, right? No, I try and make sure that I help out. How did I remove the Psychic Hood? I think, not sure how well you can see it here, but I think here, I basically hacked it off, man. Because this part of the model here looks really messy. So I think I must have just cut it off, right? Like, there's definitely some mess around there. I assume it's not just multiple layers of paint. I mean, it could be, but I think I must have just hacked it off. I can't remember when I made this guy now, actually. Ages ago, like probably not long after the box set came out for the Leviathan. Forensic analysis, yeah. I mean, I think I just hacked it off. I'm pretty good at just being like, fuck it, I don't need this part of the model, you know. You do it enough times, you get used to it. So I think this must just be a regular Terminator head from that same box. You're welcome to submit a list if you want, Jack. It's not a problem. Guys, if you get 2 seconds tonight and you can hit the like button on the stream, that would be super appreciated. But I mean, that's one of the things that I really like with these launch boxes is you can usually find someone that wants to collect the second army, so you can usually trade. Like, you know, I for the last 3 boxes or whatnot, I've traded because I traded the Necrons from, was it Dark Imperium? I traded the Nids from Leviathan, and then you've got extra Space Marine models, and then you can spend some time, you know. What's the link for? The link's for a PDF that teaches you how to be a better Blood Angels player, or teaches you how to build a Liberator Assault Group army. It's like it's just a PDF I made to share with the community for people that are struggling to get a competitive list on the go, right? Download it if you want. There is a video that goes with the PDF. But most of the stuff I make, I just try and share, right? What's like the weather in Scotland? It was really cold this morning because I had the kids at football practice at 9 AM this morning, but this week we've had a couple of nice days. But this morning was wet and cold. It was freezing actually. I like, even though we're playing football, I put jackets on my kids. That's how cold it was. Some of the other kids were not wearing jackets and they honestly looked frozen. I think it was like 9 degrees. 9 degrees is maybe not too bad, but if it's windy, and it was really windy this morning, it can feel really cold. Like it felt more like 5 degrees or something, just because the wind was like tearing through you. I'm going to holiday in Scotland next week. Oh, cool! You should visit some distilleries, dude. I hope you have a great time. Which part of Scotland? I mean, just use AccuWeather or something. I mean, here's the thing. This time of year in Scotland, you kind of just always want to have a jacket around. Like, it doesn't need to be a very thick jacket, but like I would carry a backpack or something and put a thin jacket in it. There's a saying in Scotland that basically says, like, don't get rid of your jacket until after May because the weather can turn very, very quickly. Whiskey's on the listy. Good for you. The last video with the chart was confusing. It's not confusing, dude. You literally just go... Let me see if I've got the chart in front of me. Where did I put the chart? Right, you just go. Here's your chart. I hit my opponent on 2s. I wound them on 5s. They save on 2s. That's 4%. Right? Or like, I hit my opponent on a 3. I wound them on a 2. They save on a 5. That's 36%. So if you had 50 chainsword attacks for 1 damage, and you hit them on 3s, and you wound them on 2s, and they save on a 5, literally take 50, times it by 36%, that's damn close to the damage you will do in that situation. It's maybe out by like a single point. But it's as simple as that. If you're playing Angelic Inheritors, you can just go, you know, where is it? 3s rerolling 1s because you're led by a character. So I hit on 3s, I wound on 3s, they save on whatever number, that's the percentage. Just take the same, well, I guess you get less chainsword attacks in Angelic Inheritors, but just multiply it. So like, find it on the table, like, alright, it's your opponent's turn. They send forward a big nasty knight against you, and you think, oh shit, that big knight's toughness 13, how am I going to deal with that? You could just go, well, my Sangre Guard hit on 2s, they wound on 5s, he's going to save because the Sangre Guard are AP 3 on 5s, there's my number. Times how much damage you do by that number, by the percentage, and that's it. I mean, it's not going to give you a super accurate value, like there's other factors in there, lethal hits, sustained hits, devastating wounds, all these other factors. But if you want like a very rough approximation of what you're going to do, that's going to give you it. And it's going to take you like seconds to, like, you can't take your phone and go 50 times 36%, 0.36 if you want percent, right? If you're not good at maths, you just put just put 0.1 in front of all those percentage numbers. That will give you percent. So yeah, that was the whole idea, was to literally give you one calculation that you could. And here's the thing: I sometimes want, like, I was playing Death Guard this week, right? Let me use that as an example. So I was playing Death Guard this week, and I had 3 Sangre Guard and a character, right? 3 Sangre Guard is 12 attacks. The character is 5 attacks. It's all 2 damage. So 34 damage is what they can do. Right, and we're in Angelic Inheritors, so we hit on 3s, rerolling 1s. So we're in this column here. Hit on 3s. Let me move this over. Hit on 3s, rerolling 1s. Now it's Sangre Guard into toughness 10 tank. So I know I wound on 5s. So on this one, right, hitting on 3s, wounding on 5s. So it's got 5 up invulnerable save, so we're in this one. So from my 38 damage, is that what I said? 17 attacks. Right, I just need the number of attacks, so 12 from the Sangre Guard, 5 from the character, times that by 2, 34, so I would just need to go like, so they're going to do 19%, well I can't do 19% in my head, but I can do 20% in my head, so I could just times that by 0.2, I mean you could times it by 0.20, like 20, right? I mean if you're using a calculator, if you're using a calculator, obviously you can do times 19 in your head, but if you don't have a calculator, you could just round these, so times 0.2. So the Sangre Guard, 3 of them plus a character into the Plagueburst Crawler is going to do something like 6.8 damage. So like at that point, you know that if you want to kill that Plagueburst Crawler with those four units, you're going to need to use grenades, you're going to need to use some stratagems, you're going to need to change something, because 6.8 is not going to cut it when a Plagueburst Crawler has 12 wounds. And that was kind of the idea behind this. So you could just go like, okay, we're going to hit on 3s, what if we wound on 4s? The Plagueburst Crawler still saves on 5s, so now from our 34 damage, we're going to do times 29. So 34 times 0.29. So now we're going to do almost 10 damage. Cool. So if I've got lethals in there, potentially I can do a little bit more. If I've got grenades or something, potentially I can do a little bit more. Plagueburst Crawler I think has like 12 wounds. So in that situation, it would be much more advantageous to use my stratagem, because 6.8 is not going to cut it, but 9.8 with lethals might cut it, right? So I was trying to make it where you could just, I wanted to do this in seconds to basically help me decide where I need to use my stratagems, right? So I think in my next tournament I will print this out, and then during my opponent's turn I will look at it and go, yeah, you know what, my unit won't do enough damage against this opponent unit, or something like that. That was my plan. So I could, because it's too difficult to do. And I'm good at maths, man. I am genuinely quite good at maths. Maths was the only subject at school that I got A's in. And sometimes, like, when you're at the table and, like, you know, you've got those 3 Sangre Guard and you've got them led by a character and you need to kill that Piper Scrawler, I can't do that in my head quickly. I feel like it's too much math, right? So I was trying to break it down to, like, one simple calculation that I could get a rough idea of, like, hey, do I need to use my stratagem here? Well, in that situation, yes, because 6.8 is not going to be nearly enough. And this isn't going to be an accurate number. I mean, accurate within, like, maybe 10%, sure, but that's all you need, right? You need to know in like 2 seconds, like, is this the right play in this situation? So that's what the chart was for. And I think I'll use it. Or at least I'm gonna print out the Angelic Inheritors version of it and I'm gonna take it to my next tournament. And the tournament's in 2 weeks, so if it does well, I'll let you know. If I think it's a pile of shit, I'll let you know and I'll update it. Guys, I'm gonna head off. Thank you so much for watching tonight. Thank you for the super chats. There was a few of them. And thank you so much for the likes. There's a few of them as well. I'll see you guys tomorrow night for the Army List show. I think that's it. Have a great evening, everyone. Thanks again for watching. Peace, 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 peace.